6:07 p.m. I call this meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call. When I say your name, please answer with here or present. Senator Atikos. Senator Azan. Senator Chenoweth. Senator Eisma. Senator Everhart. Vice Speaker Everhart. Acting Speaker Everhart.
Here.
Senator Gopa.
Here.
Senator Irving. No? Okay. Senator James. Senator Jones. Senator Larson. Senator Martinez. Senator Boibasango. Senator Mamani. Senator Prather. Senator Parsley. Senator Rolls. Senator Schneider. Senator Trotter. And Senator Wellman. Acting Vice Speaker Wellman. With that, we have quorum. We'll move into Pledge of Allegiance led by Acting Speaker Everhart. Okay, and we don't have a program listed, but we have a very short program with me because things changed since I sent out the agenda. We have a website that is up to date, and because of that, a lot of you probably got emails from what's it called? No. WordPress. And that's inviting you to make a profile. Please fill those out so the directory can actually be up to date. If you need help, please ask me or some of the other senators that might know. But that's really all I have for a program there. Just wanted to make you aware. Seeing no further program, we'll move to open forum, which is a time for students to come and bring issues before us. Is there anyone here for open forum? If so, please approach the podium. Seeing none, move into adopting the agenda.
So moved.
Object. I move to amend the agenda with the amendments shown on the screen.
Second.
All right, seeing that is seconded, we'll amend that. And then we will approve the agenda.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Agenda's approved. Yes. Do you have something? Senator is on. They don't exist. Okay. And then I don't believe we have minutes from last week.
Move to table minutes for another week.
Do we have them? We're gonna wait a sec there. Any objections? Yeah. Okay. So then we'll table that. Then we'll move into committee reports. First, we'll have rules with acting speaker.
So rules met last night, and a lot of the bills that we went over will be on the floor tonight. There's a couple that are on first read. Oh, well, actually, I guess not, because we just got rid of those. Yeah, all of these bills that are on here we looked at last week, so yeah.
Now an update with finance with Finance Director Hirsch.
Thank you, guys. Finance Committee met yesterday. We discussed the potential changes to PNC, which you'll see. We added on a case-by-case basis. So we should be all good on that front. And then we'll see 3 bills tonight. One we sent favorably, the other 2 we sent no bias. And so, yeah.
And any updates for PR committee? Seeing none. Idea committee?
Hi everyone, I'm just here to update about how the Multicultural Club Fair went the other day, yesterday actually. Considering it was the first time we were having this event, I would say it went fairly well. We had initially 25 groups registered to participate in the event. 20 of those were student organizations, and then 5 of those were university resources such as the Center and the Sloss Center. And some directors of multicultural student success from various colleges. And then I believe we had a few issues with the scanner at the beginning, so we don't have an exact number, but we did have somewhere a little over 100 attendees as well. And I went around and spoke to all of the student organizations and also people representing university programs to just thank them for participating, and they all had great sentiments to share with me on how they think that the event is something that they would like to see in the future, to have continue in the future, and they believe that it's a great initiative that is started, so that was great to hear. Obviously, I'm graduating in May, so hopefully whoever takes over my position or whoever else on campus is interested in continuing to see this to fruition in the next few years, that would be great. I'll be writing up a transition document, but now that we have it established, hopefully it'll be easy to continue. After this project, or now that this event is over, I'll be moving on to the airport shuttle bus project that was started by a previous director a couple years ago. And that will potentially have some bills that need to be passed, so just be on the lookout for that.
Okay, and then moving into student initiatives. Is there anyone here for that?
So I met with my committee today, and we changed the time that our committee met because it worked better for some of our other members to meet at an earlier time. And we talked about doing an event at the end of February, so the last week of February we will do something, and I plan to have an idea by Sunday, and that's it.
Okay, and is there anyone here for Sustainability Committee?
Oh God.
Okay, and is anyone here for Health and Wellness?
Okay, so we had a meeting today. We basically just finalized, we had the Health and Wellbeing Symposium this Friday, all day here in the Memorial Union. And we also talked about, we're doing a therapy dog thing. I can't remember what we called it. Pause and Wellness or something, health and, I don't know. But we finalized some details on that. We're still waiting to hear back from ISU PD about their therapy dogs, and we're also waiting to hear back about a space to do it. So we've submitted those forms and everything. Besides that, just different things with like getting the word out there for like different like help numbers and everything is one of our goals too. So that's what we've been working on the past couple of weeks. So
And is anyone here for legislative ambassadors? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to our other category for any other committee updates.
So the ISUPD Chief Student Advisory Board met on Monday, and we talked about mental health. Their therapy talk came in, that was pretty cool. And they talked about an event called QPR, Question, Prevent, and Raise. It was a suicide prevention training thing, and I think we should introduce that into Senate. Another thing we talked about was a former student named Derek Miles, and uh, an incident occurred in August, and the ICPD Chief Newton talked about setting up a bridge between students and ICPD itself to like talk about concerns you might have about that incident. And he also stated what he stated to the Daily a couple months ago. So if anyone has any other questions, you can just email ICPD themselves, and they're always looking for new members for the board.
My bad. Okay. A quick question regarding the incident that happened. What about the mental health thing? Are we like ICPD doing something about to support the student or any initiative in that regard?
Yeah, they're doing multiple initiatives. It's on their website, also on the app, and you can always email
Okay.
them about it.
Okay, cool.
All right, seeing no other updates, we'll move into comments from the judicial branch with Chief Justice Taylor.
Hello, everyone. So we met for the first time last Thursday. We are planning on meeting every other Thursday at 6 p.m. if people want to come and see what's going on. We just figured out what our goals are for the semester, trying to get any future trainings and transition documents together, and then also yearly get the mock trials going. It's going to be a continued thing, but yeah, we're working together, and we're going to try to get more involved with the rest of y'all. So if you want to reach out to Supreme Court for any endeavors that you're working on, other than just committees, then please feel free. Thank you.
Senator Wellman.
are you guys planning on getting black robes? 'Cause I think that would be really cool.
So we're planning on doing black robes, which we're getting from the bookstore to like rent, and then we were also joking around about getting powdered wigs. Yes, yes.
Okay, with that, Senator is on.
How are we doing with the mock trials? Because I do remember last time you talked about that, but I haven't received any emails on that regard.
So we have a trial that's picked out. We're really just trying to figure out how to make it like within an hour's time, because some of the cases that we were going to be working from are very long, and those are the interesting ones, and then others are less interesting. And so we're also trying to use it as training content for future courts. So, thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll move into comments from the advisor. With our advisor.
Sorry, I was consulting about a finance thing for election commission. I have been working with Martin a little bit on annual allocation, so I literally just sent an email to all student org officers and advisors about annual allocations and the timeline. So probably some of you got that. Otherwise, just helping with whatever people need.
And then comments from the executive branch with acting speaker Eberhard.
Hello again. Hello again, everybody. Jennifer sent me some updates to give you guys. So she says that Big 12 on the Hill has gone amazing. We had the opportunity to meet with all 4 representatives in both Senate offices. There are plenty of other exciting things we did while out here, and we cannot wait to share with you all more on that next week at Senate. Also, State Day is February 20th. Just a reminder on that. We are going to be having more information on signing up at meetings in upcoming weeks and also how to present yourself while advocating for our students. Just a reminder that campaign season begins this Saturday. I wanted to share with everyone to remember that their current position isn't over because campaign season has begun. However, I do want to wish everyone the best of luck as you all start this process. And then please shoot her a message or email if you need anything. Don't forget to attend the Health and Wellness Symposium on Friday.
All right, and with that, we'll move into the business tonight, starting with Special Orders 2023-3-000 seating an IRHA senator with Vice Speaker Everhart.
Hello again. So if you would like to approach the podium, this is just an opportunity for you to introduce yourself and for the Senate to ask questions. So Lauren had a really great interview with all of us when she came and spoke at Rules, and she has a lot to say. So yeah, ask her lots of questions.
Hi, I'm Lauren Verger, and I'm a freshman here in agronomy, and I'm looking to join Senate and student government, and just looking to not only get involved on campus, but look for more ways I can just help on campus and give new ideas.
Only question.
We have a question from Senator Zahn. Do you withdraw?
No. Sure, yes.
Okay. Senator Zahn.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My question will be, what's the project that you are interested in? Because we have limited time left as a senator. Is there any specific thing that you want to accomplish during that time period, or any specific subcommittees that you want to join?
I'm looking to join or get involved with like the sustainability committee. Just I've noticed a lot of things around my residence halls and a lot of other residence halls. There's a lot of, I feel like, cleanup and just tidiness that could come from that, and I think sustainability would be a really good help with it. Any big projects? No, but I think being on student government will help get like knowledge of how, if I continue to do this next year or another semester, that I can learn how I can engage with those future projects.
Acting Speaker Everhart.
Okay, I always ask a fun question, but it's a different one today. So if you could describe yourself in one color, what would it be?
I like to think yellow, just because I like to be bright and active if I can, and just like to pop in and out of places, so.
Awesome, thanks.
Senator Percy.
Okay, I'm on Sustainability Committee. Is there anything you're super excited about implementing there?
More recycling options, especially in Maple Willow Larch, where I am. I've noticed that a lot of students, the first few weeks, they'll separate the recyclables like into cans and papers, but there's not really, or at least any information where to actually take those. And I think that would be a good option because a lot of people want to recycle, but just the way that it's set up, it's kind of hard to over there, so.
Only question.
Closing comments? Okay.
Easy.
All right, with unanimous consent, that's been approved. Congratulations, you're a senator. Please wait up there while a justice swears you in.
Congratulations. All that's left for you to do now is take the oath. So please repeat after me. I solemnly swear or affirm
I solemnly swear or affirm
to execute the duties of my position
to execute the duties of my position
as prescribed in the Constitution
as prescribed in the Constitution
and laws of the government
and laws of the government
for the benefit of all students.
for the benefit of all students.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and with that, we'll move into
I move to add Senator Berger to the roll.
Senator Verger has been added to the roll. And yeah, we're gonna do one more senator. We'll move into 2023-3-001 SD, confirming a UROC senator with Acting Speaker Everhart.
Hello again. So if you would like to approach the podium, Louis also came to rules last night and expressed why he wanted to be a senator, and yeah, same thing applies. Ask questions.
Hello everyone, my name is Louis Amaro, but I go by Louis. I'm a junior in political science and I plan on going to law school after graduation. I'm interested in joining student government because I see the change you guys do, like for the good for all the students here, and seeing that I really want to be part of that, leave a lasting impact after I'm gone.
Call the question.
Senator Larson.
Can you touch on what committees you might be interested in?
I was interested in joining the Health and Wellness Committee, if that was possible. Mental health and, health in general is something that's important to me. And I feel like my help, I can just make it even better than it is right now.
And then my next question is, I know that there's a little under a semester left. Do you plan on staying in student government when you're a senior, moving on into next year?
Yeah, I do.
Call the question. No closing comments.
With that, you've been confirmed. Please wait for Justice to come swear you in. Which one?
Alright. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear or affirm
I solemnly swear or affirm
to execute the duties of my position
to execute the duties of my position
as prescribed in the Constitution
as prescribed in the Constitution
and laws of the government
and laws of the government
for the benefit of all students.
for the benefit of all students.
Okay.
Thank you.
Move 2023-3-001F to the top to consider right now.
All right. Is there any discussion on this? Sorry.
Okay, this bill is a finance bill. It comes from Finance Committee.
Point of order. This has not been approved.
Oh. Because they are here right now. Yeah.
Point of order. Still has not been approved. We either need unanimous consent. There we go. Has been approved. Let's move into this bill now.
Yeah, so super straightforward bill. We saw them a little bit earlier this year, and then we sent it favorably to Senate.
Hey everybody, just to reintroduce ourselves, I'm Corey Dunnigan. I'm co-president of Lacrosse Club.
I'm Joe Burns. I'm also a co-president of the Lacrosse Club. And I'm John Van Bergen. I'm the treasurer.
So for the bill that we're requesting money for, it's for registration fees for the OMLC, which is our lacrosse conference.
Senator is on.
Is there any specific reason why did you guys do the annual allocation for this specific event? Why didn't you apply for annual allocation?
Could you repeat that, please?
So you didn't apply for annual allocation budget for this event, right? Is there any specific reason? Is it a new thing or what's going on?
You wouldn't get it until like later on
I mean,
for next year's budget.
like when they submitted this fiscal year budget, right, through annual allocation PNC, right? They're supposed to submit the whole like upcoming events, right? When they apply annual allocation, right?
Yeah.
This
yeah,
is a big bill, like it's $9,000.
But what this does though is it practically amends their budget, is what we're saying. So they came to us with annual allocations last year that they needed it, and this is something new that popped up that they are going to. that
Okay,
they're
so
gonna-
that's the
This is
question.
what we're helping them with.
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah.
That you didn't plan for this event earlier, and it's a new thing that you are
Correct.
signing up?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I yield.
Senator Wellman.
Okay, so can you guys real quick just explain what UMLC and OOC means?
Yeah, so I can do that. So the UMLC is our conference. So the league that we participate in is called the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association, the MCLA. It's made up of 9 conferences. The UMLC is our conference. So when we're playing games across the nation, we go to the Midwest and North, far out as Nashville this spring. We pay a league registration, which allows us to continue to participate and compete in these conference games and these leagues. And then with the OOC conference registration is that's our out-of-conference registration. So that allows for us to compete against teams that aren't in our conference but still within the league, because there's fees that the league encompasses as part of the registration fee. And so that's what the two breakup of that is. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and then also, could you guys explain your record, like your record at other things and why, like, that you guys, I guess I'm for it 100%, but like your record as to why, like your winning record, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Do we need to clarify?
I think I understand what you're saying. So like how our team did, essentially? Okay.
Yes.
So we've been getting progressively better the last couple years. I think last year we went 8 and 6, somewhere around there. So, but from a couple years ago, that it went from probably 2 wins to 8 as of last year. So.
Yeah, and with that, I yield. Thank you.
Senator Larson.
So I was just wondering, since this wasn't allocated previously, were you guys not traveling recently, or like did you switch leagues? Like, why is this? Like, I understand you need the money to play in the leagues, but like, why did it like change or something?
So formally, to my understanding, we're both first-year presidents. So when we came into this role, we were under the assumption and under the impression that when we played games, we were charged outright for refs for like the game fee. And so this year it's kind of all encompassing in the registration, which is we weren't really prepared for. And then they came up with requirements for games within the league. So that's why the bill was new this year, is because the registration fee to continue to play the games that we desire to play, to give our experience, or to give our club members the experience that we like to give them. But there's the fee this year. Does that answer your question?
Senator is on.
And the $3,000 is just the registration cost. There's no, other expenses in that, right? Just the registration.
Correct. Yeah.
Cost $3,000.
There is more expenses.
Okay. For how many members, or it's just?
So we're proud to say this year we're the largest we've ever been with 36 players.
Okay.
So.
I yield.
Seeing as this is a finance bill, we will move into a roll call vote. So we will start with Senator Atikos. Yes or no, or abstain?
Yes.
Senator is on. Senator Eisma. Senator Everhart. Senator Gopa. Senator Irving. Sunder Jones. Sunder Larson. Sunder Martinez. Sunder Moibasango. Sunder Momini. Sunder Prather. Sunder Persley. Sunder Rolls. Sunder Schneider. Sunder Wellman. Sunder Vega. Did I get that right? Okay. Sunder Amra. So 17. With 17 to 1 to 0, this bill passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll move into Bill number 2023-3-005 SG, suiting a senator to Public Relations Committee with Acting Speaker Everhart.
All right, Ian, if you want to approach the podium. Yeah, I mean, Senior Director of Communications Harvey had asked me to write this bill, and Ian had shown great interest in PR. So yeah, you can tell us a little bit about why you want to join PR.
Yeah, all right. So I've been looking for a while to see where I can apply my skills, primarily in graphical editing, and I think public relations will be a really good spot to do that. I have experience in programs such as Photor, Canva, OBS, Screencast, but I think they changed the name. But nonetheless, I just want to apply that experience practically, and I like marketing, so.
All right. Do you withdraw? Sunder Gopa.
What's the first thing you're gonna work on, like the smallest thing that you can accomplish very soon?
Podcast. I've already signed up for podcasting lessons, and I'm going to be working with Senator Larson over here to try to get it going. We're going to be working on the first few episodes.
Cool.
Senator Larson.
Yeah, he literally touched on what I was about to say. He came up to me and said that he wanted to get involved in public relations because he attended the last 2 meetings and he wasn't assigned a project. So he just wanted to get involved before he was even officially on the committee. And I assigned him to get us all connected with the podcast. And I accidentally beat him to it. But yeah, we're really excited to get it going. So.
Any closing comments? All right, with unanimous consent, this has been approved. Congratulations. All right, with that, we'll move into 2023-3-000 SC, seating a vice commissioner to election commission with acting speaker Everhart.
Hello again. So if you would like to approach the podium, Tatum is already a member of election commission, so Commissioner Clayton had asked if I would write a bill to seat her as the vice commissioner. I think she's overly qualified for this role, but yeah, you can tell us a little bit about why you want to be vice commissioner, and you guys are free to ask questions after.
I'm currently seated as the debate chairperson in the election commission, and currently we don't have a vice commissioner, and as election season is approaching very rapidly, we need to seat a vice commissioner within the next couple days.
Call a question. UC.
I move to amend the agenda to add finance bill number, do you know what the number is? 2023-3-003F to the agenda.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this topic?
UC.
Seeing none, unanimous consent has been called for. That will be added to the bottom of agenda. Point of information, if you wanted it somewhere other than the bottom, that would have had to be included. Sorry, I have the bill. Do you want it right now? And move for immediate consideration and waive first read. I can't move those.
Oh, I apologize. I move to put the bill up right now and waive first read.
Second.
Senator is on.
Why we are waiving the first read?
I give Finance Director Hirsch the floor.
Competition coming up.
Okay. So they applied to you later. Okay. And how does the finance committee looks like? Like, you know, it was passed unanimously in the finance committee? Okay. Cool. I yield.
There is. It is not. It will be added, but it is on the screen currently. And soon the whole total will be there.
Objection.
The bill is right there. We are working on getting it on the agenda. Please pause for a sec.
I move to recess Senate for 5 minutes.
Is there any discussion on this? Is there a second on this? Okay, hearing you, see, we'll recess for 5 minutes. we will re-adjourn. I would accept motions to remove 2 senators from the roll.
So moved.
Okay. Okay. We are now considering 2023-3-003F, funding West Coast Swing Dance Club. With Senator Wellman.
Okay, so this is funding West Coast Swing Dance Club. They were sent no bias from Senate. I do apologize about the mix-up and about waiving first read, so that's my fault. I'll take the blame. But I think it's pretty, it looks pretty self-explanatory, I guess. If you have any questions, I'm sure he'd be beyond happy to answer them. And so, yeah. With that, I yield.
Senator Larson.
Sorry, can you just explain like the event and, I mean like, just explain what your club does and like what it is for us.
Sure. So the West Coast Swing Dance Club is a dance club here at ISU specifically for West Coast Swing. So other dance clubs do other dances. There is a West Coast Swing competition circuit, I suppose, both in the U.S. and abroad. And our club members and club want to participate in the events that are local or reasonably close to Ames. And so these events include competitions and social dancing, etc. West Coast Swing is a dance. It's a relatively new dance. It's a partner dance. It's a swing dance, so there's lots of different types of swing dances. Anything specific?
No, I just don't know what it is. Okay.
Lou Dab, Senator Martinez, go over the roll.
Second.
All right, we will add them to the roll. Senator is on.
Thank you. So just, I've been to swing dances before, so it's a partner dance, you know, you might have seen like posters, they have like bunch of events at the MU, you know. So it's a partner dance, everyone is welcome to join, you don't need to be a membership to, you know, participate, and they have like instructorship. As far as I remember, you guys are going for the competition in Chicago to learn as well, and then you can teach here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of that thing other than competition too. So just want to explain what is swing dance. It's a partner dance.
Call the question.
Any closing comments?
I think it's a good bill. I would urge your vote for it. And with that, I yield.
All right, and with that, as this is a finance bill, we will move into a roll call vote. Please vote yes, no, or abstain. Senator Atikos.
Yes.
Senator Emerald. Senator Azan.
Yes.
Senator Eisma.
Yes.
Senator Everhart.
Yes.
Senator Gopa. Senator Irving. Senator Jones. Senator Larson. Senator Martinez. Senator Moibusango. Senator Mamani. Senator Prather. Senator Persley. Senator Rolls. Senator Schneider. Senator Verriger. And Senator Wellman.
Yes.
And with a vote of 18 to 0, this passes. Congratulations. All right, and with that, we will move into 2023-3-000SO, surveying student satisfaction in each college with acting speaker Everhart.
All right, so the purpose of this bill is to send out a all college-wide survey just to see like what specific pressure points there are academically within certain colleges, whether that's academic advising, things along those lines. And with the data from that survey, Cecil and I are planning to meet with all of the deans to address that data and the concerns that the students have within their respective colleges. So, any questions?
Senator Percy.
Do senators get that data like after it's sent out?
I'm going to yield time to acting Vice President or acting Chair Cecil to answer that.
We would release the data publicly, so everyone on campus would see it.
I can't open the bill. I know, there's too many people on it.
Senator is on.
So my question is the mode of action. How are you gonna establish this? Are you planning to do like mass email and get the survey done, or are you expecting the senators to reach out to the constituency and then we're gonna collect the data as a as a team in a student government? How are you gonna establish that?
Yeah, so we are planning on doing a mass email, but it would be much encouraged and appreciated if all of the senators could reach out to their constituencies with the link to the survey once it is created. So that way, we get more participation in it, and just to like talk about it with your friends who live on campus and all of that stuff. So
Yeah. With that, I yield.
Senator Prather.
Are you guys just gonna, is it like open-ended questions on the survey, or is it gonna be like multiple choice, fill in the blank? Like what kind of questions are you gonna ask so that it's not just like a whole array of like information that wouldn't really be relevant to like what you're asking?
yeah, so if this bill passes, we're actually going to kind of open that up to like the people in Senate and see what questions would be beneficial for your respective college. I mean, all of us represent different colleges in here and know the different pressure points within those colleges. So figuring out questions that most likely will be open-ended just for people to address either specific concerns or broader concerns. But there's not really a set list quite yet because we wanted to pass this first and then open it up to our senators to help form that survey.
That I yield.
Senator is on.
So I was thinking maybe, is it possible to add this in the Canvas or Workday as an announcement or whatever? Have you considered that thing to get more response, or we cannot do that? It's beyond the scope.
We can't do it.
Okay, thanks. Are you?
Call to question.
Closing comments.
I mean, I think this is a really beneficial bill. This is to identify academic pressure points within every college, and I think this would be really beneficial for all of the students on campus. So I'm definitely in favor for it, and yeah, hope you guys are too.
UC.
Seeing no objections, this has passed by unanimous consent. All right, with that, we will move into 2023-3-000F, adopting FY24-25 asset allocations with Senator is on.
This bill is pretty much straightforward. For those of you who don't know what is ASSET, ASSET is a collaboration between City of Ames, Story County, Student Government, and United Way. And we do support financially ASSET as well. So I was representing the ASSET volunteers from Student Government platform. As a volunteer, we get recommendations from ASSET board, and based on priorities that was established last year by Senate, uh, we actually modified their recommendations. And if you click on the link, you can see the spreadsheet that we actually prepared. And some of the comments, you can read out that comments. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Do you withdraw? Senator Wellman.
It's not loading. Hold on, yeah, I can't. I'm sorry. I withdraw.
All right, and as this is a finance bill, we will move into a roll call vote. Please answer yes, no, or abstain. And Senator Atikos. Senator Amro. Senator Azan. Senator Eisma. Senator Everhart. Senator Gopa. Senator Irving. Senator Jones. Senator Larson. Senator Martinez. Senator Moivasanga. Senator Momini. Senator Prather. Senator Persley. Senator Rolls. Senator Schneider. Senator Verger. And Senator Wellman. All right, and with a vote of 18 to 0, this passes. Could you make a motion that can be achieved? Just in an actual time frame.
Until after 2023-3-0.
Alrighty. And with that, we'll move into discussion. Is there any discussion on this topic? I heard a call to question. All right, with that unanimous consent, we will move it down. And pick up on it later. And we will move into 2023-3-000A, adopting priorities and criteria for the fiscal year 2025. With the senator that it's with. Is it Senator Wellman? Senator Eisma.
All right, everybody, if you remember PNC from last week, we did do some updates with it. If you take a look at it, you can see what they are. And it should be pretty straightforward this time go around. Any questions?
Senator Azan.
Could you talk about the updates that you guys did from the last week when we tabled this bill? Because I could not find the update. Like, what part did you change when we tabled this bill? What has been changed since last week?
Okay, so what we changed, Speaker Cecil and Vice Speaker Vice Speaker Everhart came and they changed the line. It would be under eligibility requirements from I can't. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it would be organizations that operate at a budget surplus independent from student government allocated monies will be considered on a case-by-case basis. So what we did is we put in case-by-case basis instead of they will not get it. if that makes sense. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's the only change that you guys did.
That's the only change that we did, yes.
Okay.
That's the only change that people, or that someone came to finance committee with. So that's the only change we could make because we already passed it out of finance committee.
Awesome. I yield.
Senator Wellman.
Overall, this is a really good bill. We put a lot of work into it, and you know, we might have disagreements on it here and there, but at the end of the day, we also have to remember that we are responsible for student dollars, and that we should, at the end of the day, we should only give money to other students. When students pay in, they should get something out of it. And so, student government is here to help. I want that to be known, but it also needs to be known that these are student dollars and that we need to respect those student dollars in the best way possible. And this PNC does that the best way that we all on the committee knew how to do. Secondly, what I will say is that we can't forget that we're running at deficits and we have debt. We need to figure out ways to where we can stop that and we can make sure that we are, right? Or, apologies, we operate at a deficit, my bad. So we need to remember that we are making sure that we are cutting that deficit as much as we can. Thirdly, we made a lot of changes to this in areas that, such as the ID scanners that will help us know exactly how much or how many people are coming to these events, so we know how much money to give them. And so, because of that, I think that this is a good PNC, and I urge you all to vote for it. So with that, I yield.
Senator is on. Is there a second on this motion? Seeing none, the motion fails, and we enter back onto discussion on the main bill as a whole.
Okay. Do we have the quorum to complete the PNC, approve the PNC?
Yes.
Okay.
There's been to a call to question in a second. Are there any closing comments with Senator Eisma? Seeing none, we will move into a roll call vote. Okay. Senator Atikos. Senator Emerald. Senator Azan. Senator Eisma. Senator Everhart. Senator Gopa. Senator Irving. Senator Jones. Senator Larson. Senator Martinez. Senator Moibasango. Senator Momini. Senator Prather. Senator Parsley. Senator Rolls. Senator Schneider. Senator Veringer. Senator Wellman. And with a vote of 17 to 1 to 0, this bill passes. Seeing a second, is there any discussion on this topic? Seeing none, we'll consider it tabled with a UC. I'm sorry, I am not good at this. But you have someone that is better at this next week, so we can finish. Anyways, moving on to 2023-3-000 SE, identifying the responsibilities of the Clerk of the Senate with Acting Speaker Everhart.
Okay, first I'm gonna move to remove Senator Amro from the role as he is going to a meeting. Second, yeah, this is a bill to just more clearly state what the responsibilities of the Clerk of the Senate are. Yeah, questions?
Call a question. UC.
No
Closing
vote.
comments?
Nope.
All right, with unanimous consent, this has been passed. Congratulations. All right, with that, we'll move into 2023-3-001Y, Cabinet Senate Attendance and Update Policy with Acting Speaker Everhart.
All right, everybody. So the Cabinet Senate Attendance and Update Policy. So essentially what this bill does is the Chief of Staff acts as the Secretary to Senate, and this essentially just states that somebody has to be at the meetings, a member of Cabinet, to fulfill that role, whether it's the Chief of Staff or somebody that the Chief of Staff appoints. So that way it better connects communication and ties between the executive, legislative, and judicial branch. Questions?
Senator Wellman.
Okay, I have a question. Would Senate be willing to table this for 1 week so that way we could ask direct questions to members of executive cabinet before we vote on this bill? Because I feel like it would help us. Oh, well, I guess it would help us if we had any clarifying questions to the president or anybody else, so that way we could fully understand the bill. That wasn't a motion.
Can you restate your question?
Would as you're the sponsor of the bill, would you be willing to table the bill for a week until we could ask direct questions to the president, because they're not here right now, they're on official business?
I'm going to yield to Acting Chair Cecil.
I don't really have a problem with that, but it's also fully within Senate's power to say we would prefer the cabinet be here. Yeah. So it's up to Senate. Do you?
Yeah. So I don't disagree with that. I just I don't know if anybody else has questions, so that's why I was going to do that. But if we have other questions right now, then I'll wait to make a motion or anything. So with that, I yield.
Senator Gopa.
So we already live stream these events and we have a clerk for the minutes. Why can't the chief officers just look at that?
I mean, personally, in the bylaws it states that the Secretary of Senate is the Chief of Staff role. It just doesn't state that they have to be here for that role. And this would just make sure that there's a consistent person acting as the Secretary of Senate. And I understand your concern, but also at the same time, trying to go through like a 45-minute video or going through the minutes. I mean, the minutes get sent to us a little bit later in the week, but I'm going to yield some time to Acting Chair Cecil.
They definitely could. I don't know how often you've had people outside of Senate watch the videos. But if there was a statistic on that you'd be willing to share, that'd be awesome. I would definitely entertain tabling this a week, as it'll just make the meeting easier if I can just talk about it.
I motion to table the, oh, whoops.
Second.
Senator is on.
So I do support this bill, to be honest. And as far as the comment, Gopa comment, I feel
Point
like
of order, we're discussing whether or not to table it. Are you following that?
I'm not in agreeing with
Okay.
tabling. So I have the discussion on my comments. I cannot do that.
At this moment, we're discussing tabling
Okay,
the bill.
I'm not in tabling this. Against.
I think, can I?
Question.
You see?
Seeing UC and no objections to UC, this bill will be tabled for 1 week. Yes.
I do have objection to the UC.
It
I
has
did.
now been tabled. You did not object to the UC. You just stated that you objected to it being tabled.
I said I'm against the tabling of the bill during my answer.
Okay, well, it has now been tabled for 1 week, as you did not object at the time of UC. Moving on, we will go to 2023-3-001 SE, requiring Senate officers to update the website with Speaker Everhart.
So this bill just ensures that the speaker uploads the agendas and the minutes to the website. It's pretty self-explanatory, so if anybody gets on our website, they can see what we've been up to.
Senator Wellman.
Okay, so just a quick question. So if we get like a new director of IT, would those roles be like, could you delegate those roles to that person? Because to me, if you can't, I feel like that's their responsibilities. I know it's in the bylaws. So if you can't, I guess my question would be, then why do we need a director of IT? But we're not there yet. So with that, I ask my question.
I'll yield time to the chair.
This just makes it so the two Senate officers make sure they are there. This is what it would kind of look like. I did it this week. If we have a director IT, ideally that's where it would be. But this just makes it so we make sure that this does happen. Senator Larson.
I yield.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on I'm just going to say senator because I don't want to say whatever you're filling in for. That basically this is just making it faster. You know, it took forever for us to get onto the website, and now that the elections are coming up, if somebody wants to reach out to you or figure out what you do, it'll actually be on there. And it took Alex just last night to basically do everything on the website, and we want to try to get it ironed out as soon as possible, and I kind of figure out that this is what it does. So.
All right, this has been passed through unanimous consent.
Motion to table 2023-001 SO. And I feel like there's no need for this bill, especially because we are working on the
just
website.
motion. We can
Motion
discuss
to
it
table
later.
this.
All right, motion and a second. We will enter into discussion.
Call the question. Oh, go ahead.
Senator Everhart.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of echo what Azan was saying. There's really no need for this bill anymore. So if we table it indefinitely, then it's just, poof, out of thin air, gone.
Call the question.
Second.
Seeing unanimous consent has been called for. Are there any objections? Seeing none, this bill has been tabled. With that, we will move into closing announcements. Are there any closing announcements? Senator Larson.
I'm not calling anybody out, but I just want to say that before you call to question on things, make sure you look up from your computer to see if anybody's raising their placard, so you actually give people time before you have to object and then, let people actually speak, because that happened a lot tonight, and that's been happening a lot. So, I know some of you might be in a hurry, but you're a senator here for Senate, so, you have enough time to at least perform your duty. So
Uh,
Senator is on.
So I just want to echo what Senator Larson said. I did raise 3 times my plate card, and unfortunately, I didn't get the timing that I was asking for. So again, it's important to have a discussion instead of calling the UC every time and calling the call of questions, because it doesn't make sense to approve something without hearing everyone's thought process and agreeing on this. So with that, I yield.
Senator Gopa.
So the Iowa State, Iowa Student Leadership Experience is coming up, and I signed up. So I was just wondering if anyone else signed up, and we could start a group chat for that and go together on the buses or something. Shout out to Christine for setting that up.
Ready? Finance Director Hirsch.
And then just one more thing to touch on that wasn't directly Finance Committee, but it is. It's our annual allocations are coming up. And so if you're unfamiliar with that, that's the way student orgs come in and they request funding for the next fiscal year. So that's going to kick off with our information help sessions, and then we go into budget submissions, annual allocations start, and then budget balancing, and then you guys will see big picture bill and we'll get to vote on it. It'll be very fun. So yeah, just the information sessions start on the 7th, they end on the 12th, and then annual allocations start on the 18th and they end on March 1st. Then if you have a chief officer position in a club, then you'll get that email. And then I'll also put this on our Teams chat. And if you want to come to the meeting, please feel free to. It's not a requirement unless you're on Finance Committee, but it's always great to understand student government finances.
First, I'll give my announcements, and then I'll go to them. There aren't a ton, but please update your profiles on the website. If it won't let you make a profile, please email me. I really want to get the website going in the next week to where people can find us. Just because with elections coming up, it might be useful. And with all the finance things going on, that definitely needs to have more relevance and able to be seen. But next week, Quinn will be back, hopefully. And I know I'm not great at this, but I shouldn't have to do this. So with that, we'll move on to closing comments from the... closing comments over there.
I forgot to mention this during my idea updates, but if anyone remembers, last semester I was working on getting an international movie onto Cyclone Cinema's official lineup, and although we weren't able to accomplish that last semester and instead we had that additional event, I've been in communication with the new sub-directors or the new Cyclone Cinema directors, and they do have an international movie in their spring lineup, and it is going to be Anatomy of a Fall, which is a French movie, and it will be shown on the weekend of February 15th through the 18th. I'll try to remind you all again at the Senate meeting prior to that weekend, but I think continuing to show up to those events and make sure that, we continue to show that international movies are important to have and include in these campus programs is important, and obviously attendance is something that they obviously highly value, and make sure that that's something that they take into consideration when choosing their new movies each semester. So if you are available that weekend, make sure to go see it. It's free. I'm sure you know that, but I encourage you all to go.
I do have one more announcement. Would all the senators please stay after the meeting so we can take a picture? It's not going to be super fancy because we're also going to take pictures next week when everyone's back from DC, and we're going to try to get more cabinet people here to have big group, but we're going to take one right here in front of the window. So the website does not have pictures of people that are no longer at the university as the student government pictures. That's my last one. But then acting vice speaker.
As a reminder, guys, too, we can put our placards up while people are talking, so that way when we look around the room after they're done talking, we don't call to question. And with that, I yield.
Alrighty, so just a couple quick things. Just a reminder that office hours run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please make sure you are doing your office hours during those times. We want you all to be available. to your constituencies and students during working hours, per se. And then also, if you guys have any ideas for a community building event, whether that's, you know, going and having a movie night all together, please feel free to send them to me. This week you should expect a survey for your availability, and if you have any event ideas, like I said, just send them my way. Again, I'm going to say if anybody is interested in helping me hash out a mock-up for the mentorship program for next year, that would be really great. I don't want to do it alone. And then if you need help writing any bills, you can feel free to reach out to myself or Acting Chair Cecil at any time. And then I had the picture on here too. So yeah, if you guys right after want to just come and meet up here for a picture, that would be great. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Go Cyclones.